What's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Pokemon trainer. If you want to make him, here's what you're going to need. You will need some sandstone block, you'll need black wool, brown wool, you'll need light grey, white, red, and finally some dark blue wool. Once you have every single one of those colours right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make him, I'll be making him right here, you'll want to kick off your Pokemon trainer with a row of 4 black wool in a row on the floor. That's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you've placed your row of 4 black wool, this is what you want to do next. Starting from the left hand side of your row of 4, starting from this most left hand block, do an up left diagonal. Then place 2 blocks on top of that diagonal, so 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal. Place 1 block on top of it, 1 block going right, 1 block on top, then 3 blocks going right, 1, 2, 3, then 2 blocks going down, 1, 2, then 1 going right, then 2 going down, 1, 2, then 1 going left, and finally 1 going down to give you a shape which should look a little bit like this. Once you've formed this shape right here, this is what you want to do, and we may as well do this whilst we're here since it is a bit of black. So, starting from this block on the right hand side here, just go left of this block by 1 with your black wool. Then do a bottom left diagonal from that black wool, and then go left of that diagonal to give you something which should look like this. I could have left that until later, but we may as well do it now whilst we're here. Once you've done that, we can continue up the legs. So, come up to the top of what you've just made and come up to the left hand side. You're looking for this block that I have highlighted right now. Once you've located this block, place 1 block on top of it. Then do an up left diagonal from that block. Then go up on top of the diagonal by 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upright diagonal. Then go up on top of that diagonal by 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, I just had to make sure that I got that right. I don't want any wrong measurements. Once you've got your row of, that should be in total 9, 1 plus 8 is 9, you then just want to go left of this 8th block by 2, so that's 1, 2. On top of the second block, the most left hand block, you want to go up by 2, 1, 2, but on top of this first block here that we placed, you want to go up by 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You then, from this 8th block, want to do an up left diagonal. Then place 2 blocks on top, 1, 2. You then want to do another up left diagonal. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal. Then go down from that diagonal by 1 with your white wool. Then take out your black wool again and do a bottom left diagonal from that white wool. Then go down from that black bottom left diagonal by 2, 1, 2. Then go right of that second block by 2, 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal and then go to the right by 1. So you just reconnect back to that long black row that we did earlier. Once you've done that, you then want to return to this block right here. That shouldn't be too hard to see what I'm getting at. This block right here, and you want to go down from this block by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom left diagonal. Then go down from that bottom left diagonal by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1 and 2. go to the right of the second bottom right diagonal by 1. Then do 2 up right diagonal, so that's 1, and 2 is placing a block next to the outline. Go up from the second up right diagonal by 1, then do an up left diagonal. Then go left of it by 1, go up by 1, and then go left by 2 to reconnect back to the outline to give you a shape which should look a little bit like this, just to show you everything in total. Once you have this, and whilst we're here, all you have to do to finish off this little section, come back down to where we just were, and from this block here, just do 2 black blocks going right. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Should be very easy. Once you've done that, you then want to return all the way back up to where we were just building. So all the way up here where we have this single black wall all by its lonesome. And from this block, you want to do an upright diagonal. Then place 1 block on top of it. Then do 3 upright diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3. From the third upright diagonal, do a bottom right diagonal. Then go right by 1. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal. Then go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Then go down by 1. Then go left by 2. 1, 2. Then do 2 up left diagonals, so that's 1. And the second up left diagonal should just reconnect you back to where we just were to give you something which should look a little bit like this. Once you have this, you then want to return back down to this block right here, and you want to go down from this block by 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Then go down from that diagonal by... Go down from it by 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go left of this 7th block until you reconnect back to the left hand side of the outline that you were just making, to give you something which should look in total a little bit like this. Very weird shape, this guy, very weird shape indeed. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to start building from the other side a little bit, connect everything together. So once you've reached this point right here, you now want to return all the way back down to the foot that we started with. If you guys don't know, this is the foot, you could have probably have guessed. Once you're back down at the foot, you want to locate this block right here, the opposite side to where we started a little while ago, and on top of this block you want to place 1 black block going up. Then do an upright diagonal from this block. Then place 3 blocks on top of the diagonal, so 1, 2, 3. Then do another upright diagonal. Place 3 on top, 1, 2, 3. Then do another upright diagonal. Place 1 block on top, and then 1 block going left, like so. Once you've placed those 2 blocks, you then want to return back up to this original diagonal, and from this block, do a bottom right diagonal. Go down from that diagonal by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And go down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal. And go down from it by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Go right by 1. And then do another bottom right diagonal. Go right of this bottom right diagonal by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do an upright diagonal. Place 1 block on top. Then do an up left diagonal. Go left 1. Go left 1. Up 1. Then do another up left diagonal. and then go left of that diagonal until you reconnect back to what we were just making. And just to give you guys a shot of what we should have now, this is the entire little section that we've just been building. I realise it is getting quite dark, so I'm going to be back in a moment once I've got all of this sorted out. Back in a mo. Alright guys, so continuing on, and before we move on with the outline, there's a little bit of black that we have to add to this foot, which we could do later when we're colouring it in, but we may as well add now, why not? So, from this block right here on the right hand side of the right foot, you want to do one black block going left, then do a bottom left diagonal, then an up left diagonal. You literally only have to add those 3 black wool. Once you've added those, we can continue on with the outline. So you want to come to the top of the foot, and you want to start from this right hand block. Once you've located this block, you want to go up from it by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. Then go up from that diagonal by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do an up left diagonal. Go up on top of that diagonal by... Go up by 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What you then want to do, once you've added that row of 8 on top of that single diagonal, you want to extend out the top 2 blocks of your row of 8 by 1, each like that. You then also want to extend the 8th block to the right by 1, which we'll be using a little bit later on, but for now we're going to focus on this left side. So what you want to do once you've extended both of those blocks is, starting with the top left hand block, you want to go up on top of it by 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. You then want to go left of this 3rd block until you reconnect with the other part of the outline on the left hand side, like this. You then want to find the 3rd block coming in from the right of the long line that you've just made, so this is a 1st, 2nd, 3rd block coming in from the right, and go up on top of this block by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do an up left diagonal, and go up on top of it by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up left diagonal, and go up on top of it by 1. Then go left until you reconnect back to the outline on the left hand side. Then return back over to this right hand side and place a single black wool on top of each one of these 2 blocks, 1 and 1. What you then want to do is, going right of this right hand block, just do a single black going right. Then do an upright diagonal. Go right of that diagonal by 1, and then go up by 2. 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal, go left by 1, then do a bottom left diagonal. Then go left by 2, 1, 2. You then want to extend this middle block of this row of 3 that we now have, extend this middle block down by 1, and then do a bottom right diagonal from that block, which is pretty much just placing a block coming directly up like that to give you a shape which should look exactly like this. Shouldn't be too difficult for you. Once you have that, you now want to... I'm not sure which way would be easier. You now want to... We'll do it this way, why not? Come over to the right hand side of what you've just made and locate this block right here. Hopefully you guys can see this easy enough. Going right of this block that we have highlighted, do a single black wool. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Then go right of it by 1. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Go down from the 3rd bottom right diagonal by 1. Then do 3 more bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Go down from the 3rd bottom right diagonal by 1. Then do 4 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go left of the 4th bottom left diagonal by 1, then go up by 1, then do an up left diagonal, and go up on top of it by 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. What you then want to do, once you now have this row of 4, is extend this 3rd block, starting from the bottom to the right, by 1. You then want to, from the 4th block, the top block, do 2 upright diagonals, so that's 1 and 2. You then want to return back down to this 4th block and do an up left diagonal from it. Then go up by 2, 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal, and place 1 on top of it to give you something which should in total, let me show you this whole right hand side, which should in total look exactly like this. We've not finished it just yet, but we are very close. Once you have reached this point right here, to finish off this little right hand side, you want to come back down to this block right here, kind of like the bottom of the right arm. This is the right arm, by the way. The bottom of the right arm, locate this block and go down from this block by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. And you should connect diagonally to this little single black wall that we made earlier. Now, coming back to the first block that we just went down with, this one right here, you want to place a block going left of it, and then an up left diagonal to connect everything back together. So just to show you the little section that we've just made. And now to show you everything all together now, just to show you how it should all work out. And this has taken a lot longer than I actually thought it would. It's actually quite complicated when you get into it. There's a lot of backtracking, a lot of outline to add. Once you've reached this point, however, we now have to make the head, which hopefully won't be so difficult. So come all the way up to the top of your pixel art, as you might imagine where the head would go right at the top, and you want to locate this block right here. It's actually the highest block out of the outline so far. From this block, you want to do an up left diagonal. And you also, from this diagonal, want to go up from it by 1, but also left of it by 1. From the left block, you want to do an up left diagonal. And go left by 1. Go up on top of that left block by 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, to give you in total a row of 5. Take this row of 5 and extend the 2nd and 5th blocks to the left each by 1. You then want to take the top 2 blocks of your row of 5 and extend them each to the right by 1. Now go up on top of this upper right hand block of this little square section that you've made and go on top of it by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do an upright diagonal. And go up by 1. And do 2 upright diagonals. So that's 1 and 2. Go to the right of the second upright diagonal by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. And go to the right of it by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom right diagonal. And go right of it by 2. 1, 2. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And go right of it by 1. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And go down from it by 1. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And go down from it by 2. 1 and 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal. And go down from it by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal. And go down from it by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal. Go left of it by 2. 1, 2. Then go down by 1. But also, continuing, going left, once you've placed this one block going down, continuing, going left, do 2 blocks. Well, going left, 1 and 2, to give you, whilst we can actually still see, to give you a shape which should look a little bit like this. Don't worry guys, we're very close to actually finishing the entire outline to this, then we get to colour it in. Once you've reached this point right here, we can continue on once we have the daylight again. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright guys, so continuing on. I was going to do this a little bit later, but I may as well do it now before it slips my mind. So we actually missed out one single black wool. It's very near where we were just building. You want to locate these 2 black wool at the top of the torso, right here. This is part of the collar. This right hand black wool, do an upright diagonal from it. So you just have that single black wool. That is a single black wool that we missed. I was going to add it in when we did the face, but whilst we're here, why not? Once you've placed that, return back up to where we were just building, where we just did this row of 5 here with the single black wool coming down. From the left hand side of your row of 5, do an up left diagonal. And go left of it by 2. 1, 2. Then take out your light grey wool and place 1 on top of this second block. Then go left of it by 1. Take out your black wool again, and now going left of this second light grey, do 2 black wool going left. Then do an up left diagonal. And go left until you reconnect back to the outline to give you something which should look like this. Once you've done that, you now want to, underneath this block right here, it's kind of hard to describe it other than saying this block right here, going down from this block right here, just do a single black wool. Now going up from this block right here, again, kind of hard, this block right here that I have highlighted, just go up on top of it by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. Then go right of it by 1. Then do an upright diagonal. And go right of it by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Go right of it by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal. Finish this all off by placing a single black block right next to that bottom right diagonal to give you something which, for the head, should look exactly like this. And no, that bottom right hand section isn't supposed to be closed off. Don't worry about it, we'll sort that out later. Once you've reached this point right here in which you've done the head, the entire outline of the body, look at this, it's a complete mess, complete mishmash. I'm not surprised it's taken this long. Once you've reached this point right here, we actually have the fun of colouring this whole thing in, which I'm actually going to be doing along with you guys. It's not too hard, but there are a couple of parts where I just want to isolate and make sure that you guys do actually fill them in properly. Let's get cracking, shall we? So, we're going to work our way up from the bottom, all the way to the top. I'm not going to be doing this slow, I'm going to be filling in a section and then showing you the end result where necessary, but I'm probably going to split this into about 3, 4, maybe even 5 sections and just point out where the detail's supposed to go. Let's get cracking. So, coming back down to the shoes are actually semi-complicated, but the fact that they're so small makes them kind of easy, so I'm just going to fill the shoes and I'm going to fill his trousers in, and then I'll show you guys a whole shot. That's how easy it is, and you guys can either choose to try and make it along now if you think that you could. I'm doing it very quick, or you can just wait in a moment once I've got this whole shot sorted out, or if you are particularly good at this, just wait until the very end once I show you the whole thing and the big giant screen where I've taken off the UI. Just wait until then and add in all of the colour. Really your choice, but as I said, I'm going to be isolating a few sections of this pixel art and you guys can then copy from the sections, add into yourself. I'm not going to be doing it slow, as I've said. I don't think that's too beneficial for anyone, so I'm just going to, as I said, split this into sections. So for the shoes, as you can see, very simple. A little bit of light grey, a little bit of white, a little bit of red. You shouldn't have too much trouble looking at those and applying it to yours. I know I'm a little far away from them, and I can get a little bit closer. There you go. Very easy, you shouldn't have any trouble with that. The trousers, or the pants if you're American, they are just completely dark blue. There is nothing else to them whatsoever. Very, very easy. Once you've taken care of that, and again, let me come back down to the shoes, just in case you want to pause it, fill those in, fill in the legs. Once you've done those, let's get cracking. So, coming up to the torso, I'm going to fill the entire torso in, and then I'll just show you guys a nice shot of it all done. There is a fair amount of detail to it, but it's not difficult detail. It's really easy stuff. Like it's just large blocks of color kind of next to each other. It's not really intricate in any way, shape, or form. So, like I said, I'm just going to fill in this entire torso section, and then I'll just show you the end result. That's all I'm gonna do. And this might actually take a while. This pixel art is a little bigger than I had in my head. I really thought that this was going to be like a 20-minute job. You know what? I'll actually split this into sections. So this is the left-hand side of your Pokemon trainer, just so that you can perhaps see it a little easier. That's the whole left-hand side. Pause this video if necessary. Probably will be. Copy all of that. Then we can continue on. So, coming to the little middle section that we have now, this little middle section is just completely black wool. And by the way, if you didn't pause the video, I am going to show you this whole thing, the whole little torso section completely done once I have completely filled it in. However, I figured that perhaps you guys were getting a little bored of just watching me fill things in, and perhaps you just wanted something to do, so that's why I showed you that all segregated. So there you go, that is the middle section of the torso. Most of it you've just got to fill in with black, however there is a little bit around the neck and the collar where you've just got to fill in with a little bit of sandstone, brown, light grey. Pause this if necessary, of course, fill that section in, then we can do the little final section on the right hand side. So, coming over to the right here, again, just going to be doing this like we've just done the other couple of sections. There's nothing much to it. A lot of it, as I said, large blocks of colour, little bit of detail, but the detail is very easy to spot. You're probably not going to miss anything. And you should be good to go. So let me see here, just got a little bit of light grey to throw in with this white wool here. Now we've got the arm, a little bit of brown, that's just for colour contrast, that's just for shading, and a little bit for the gloves. No, I'm wrong, sorry, that's for shading, I don't know what I'm talking about. And the whole right side should end up looking exactly like this. That's the right side. If you've been making it in sections, pause this video here, copy this from mine, apply it to yours. However, just to show you guys the whole thing, all completely done. I don't suppose I've made much difference by trying to split it up for you guys at all, but that's the whole thing, completely done. That's the torso, very easy. Pause this video if necessary, copy out the torso. Once you've done that, we can move up to the face. So I'm going to be splitting the face and the hat into two parts. So just doing the face first. There's not that much to the face. There's a little bit of brown mixed in along with the sandstone, and the brown is just shadows, it's just shading. And you've also got his eye and his mouth and his ear as well. So I'm just going to be doing this. I'll add in all of the details and then show you guys the end result, and then throw all the sandstone is what I was trying to say. I've got a little tickle in my throat, guys, hang on, sorry for this. God, I'm really sorry, I'm a little bit sick, I'm not sure if you can hear it. My throat's been a little sore, get a runny nose, I've been coughing all over the place, but I've still been wanting to record videos for you guys. I hate taking breaks, although I might have to. So that is the entire face of your Pokemon trainer, completely filled in. All you have to do once you have applied that to your pixel art is do the hat. However, I do notice it's getting a little bit dark. I'll be back in a moment to finish in the hat, and then I can show you this whole thing put together. Alright guys, so as I said, once you've got the face taken care of, we can now move up to the hat, and the hat is actually quite simple as well. On the brim of the hat and the front of the hat, we've just got a little bit of light grey and white to add in, and then all the way at the back of the cap we've just got some red wool, and it is as simple as that. So I'm just going to be doing this again in the exact same fashion that I've been doing all of this. There's really no reason not to do it this way. I think it's a little bit faster. I like the fact that I'm splitting it into sections and I'm not just kind of like completing it and then showing you guys the end result. I am making this along with you. I think you guys actually prefer this, to be honest. I've tried it in the past where I've just kind of filled the whole thing in and then isolated little sections and show you guys, but every time I seem to kind of build it along with you, like start to finish. For whatever reason, you guys like it more, so I'm happy to accommodate you, even though it does add on a little bit of extra work, but you know, it's worth it. It's whatever keeps you guys happy. So there you go. That is what you want for the entire trainer's hat. That is all you need to do. Quite simple. Should be pretty obvious where you've got to add in the light grey and the white and the red. It shouldn't be hard to spot it, and just do it for yourself. Once you have done the hat completely, the only thing that you have left to do with your pixel art is stand back and marvel at it. This is all you have to do now. Let's take a look at him, shall we? The hat should be the final piece of the puzzle. Once you've got that taken care of, that is everything. So let's just take a step back, shall we? And let's see what we have. There you go. That is your trainer 100% fully completed. Hopefully you guys have exactly what I have on my screen, on your screen. Inception. I always confuse myself when I say that sentence. Completely weird. I'm not even sure if it makes sense. I'll have to listen back to it at some point. Hopefully you guys have exactly this on your screens. Hopefully you found this easy enough to follow. It is a bit of a difficult one, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of black, there's a lot of outline, and well, the colouring's not too hard, but the outline is kind of formidable. Hopefully you guys have managed to make this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.